Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, ImperialDane, with another Propagandacast for you today. A 1 versus 1 on Angoville. Yes, indeed, it is Angoville, that good old map in the French countryside. And let's have a look in the northern corner, who will be playing as the Panzer Elite Novaton. Certainly sounds quite heavy. Playing as the 17th SS reconnaissance elements, ready to take on, oh goodness gracious, it's me again, as the 1st Infantry Division, ready to take the fight on to the Germans and try to liberate France, at least a part of it, for some time. So let's have a go at it. Of course, nice winding road, the western half much open territory, farmland, no real buildings, whereas the eastern half is a lot more closed off. A lot more elements blocking lines of fire and sight, and of course a lot more to garrison. Kettenkrad dashing out quite quickly, probably going for this high fuel point, but not really connecting any territories. Nearby barracks going up, so nothing unusual there. We'll probably see a rifleman team as usual, and engineers dashing out. First Panzer Grenadier team has hit the field. Probably going to see the Gewehr 43 upgrade. Going southwards. And it would seem the Panzer Elite, his commander, has opted for the western part of the map, the more open part of the map. And is in fact going to use his Panzer Grenadiers to try and seize territory, using them to acquire the strategic points and link up everything. An unorthodox tactic, a bit, I might say, as Panzer Grenadiers aren't the best, but it's certainly better than trying to use those Panzer Grenadiers to try and seize this point. So that's of course not bad. Another Panzer Grenadier team on the field. In fact, no Gewehr 43 so far. That's a bit interesting. We'll probably see a third team. And now switching over to the eastern half. Riflemen are probably going to spot this and rushing straight into this farm building and going to open fire on these Panzer Grenadiers from inside. Catching these Panzer Grenadiers right out in the open, not really good for them. Will they suffer any losses, or will they get out of there in time? It looks like so, but the riflemen are quick to pursue these Panzer Grenadiers of the SS. Moving up past the garage and the wrecked pickup truck and firing away at these Panzer Grenadiers, who are continuing to move right out in the open, not sticking close to the bushes and what little light cover that will provide. But now some are in fact trying to get back, and there we go into cover, which is certainly something the Panzer Elite Panzer Grenadiers really always should try and focus on getting. Cover. Generally also for other infantry, but really considering the Panzer Grenadiers are much more expensive to replace. Panzer Grenadier team charging in, seizing this building, a bit of an interesting move. Probably to try and halt any movement from here, and of course watch over this point. But so far riflemen are ignoring this and going straight for these Panzer Grenadiers, who are in a lot more exposed position. Kettenkrad moving in for this point, so going for the strategic cutoff point, and of course getting Gewehr 43s for those Panzer Grenadiers, who are now providing overwatch for the Kettenkrad. My engineers are continuing to seize the western half. Fresh engineers on the move here, and we see riflemen moving in. Probably going to try and stop that Kettenkrad, and he's covered behind this garage, which is certainly not bad, and continuing to go for the Kettenkrad, completely ignoring these Panzer Grenadiers inside. Not much point to go for those, while they are much easier targets to deal with. Jeep also going out, and these riflemen are trying to reinforce, while the rest are taking up a slightly more defensive position. All the while, engineers are continuing to seize the western half of the map as well. And we see a renewed movement from the south. Jeep covering these riflemen, who are a bit wounded. While it seems like Mr. Novaton is regrouping and attacking with renewed forces towards my position. Riflemen pulling back to a slightly more defensible position, where it will also be more likely for my men to actually move in and support them and reach them in time, in fact. There we go. Panzer Grenadiers being caught up in a rather slugged out fight, but realizing I can't really hold all of this back, I retreat all of my riflemen while these engineers are seizing this high munitions point. although also opting to retreat, it seems. Panzer Grenadiers coming under fire from a jeep. The jeep holding a nice safe distance, while the Panzer Grenadiers are focusing on the engineers, but are now pulling back since 30 caliber light machine gun fire is certainly nothing to completely scoff at. Panzer Grenadiers have seized the eastern half, but still only Panzer Grenadiers, no support units. In fact, he's gone for 5 Panzer Grenadier teams, certainly quite heavy on the infantry bit, without any actual support for them, and getting a weapon support center to try and do something about that. Engineer holding these Panzer Grenadiers a bit back, but further Panzer Grenadiers are now charging in, while riflemen renewed and freshened up for the fight are now charging in, taking cover behind this pickup truck, trying to tie down these Panzer Grenadiers, while the other team of riflemen are moving in for the flank. And there we go, Panzer Grenadiers fighting fire from several sides, and not a happy situation. Further Panzer Grenadiers charging in, but now the jeep is joining in as well, going to add its machine gun fire to the rest of it. Riflemen moving much closer to the Panzer Grenadiers, who are certainly now exposed from that side, since heavy cover is directional, although looks like these riflemen are getting cut down quite brutally, but a fresh rifleman team is ready, and the Panzer Grenadiers charge in, but are forced to stop that, since riflemen are moving in and are going to put their flank at risk, but now standing right out in the open, this could really end up badly for the Panzer Elite. I mean, the 17th SS. One team already forced back, another one also down to 1 and forced to retreat. Riflemen charging right into it, getting lots of Gewehr 43s all of a sudden. The riflemen and jeep are ready to charge in, while these riflemen are courageously keeping these Panzer Grenadiers tied up. Engineers now joining as well with their Reese guns, trying to get close to the Panzer Grenadiers, who are certainly beginning to look wounded and devastated, and now the engineers close in the final bit, firing away, but they're certainly taking a lot of fire and will need to get out of there. But the Panzer Grenadiers retreat as well, down to only 3 men. A lot of losses for all of those Panzer Grenadiers, and now we see engineers moving in there, and a heavy machine gun team being sent to the front will certainly be helpful against all of these Panzer Grenadiers, who are of course completely without support weapons, in which case, once caught out in the open by heavy machine gun, they're certainly going to be facing quite a bit of trouble. And strategic points seized, rendering them out of touch with this high munitions point. Certainly a bit sneaky, considering that it's just right outside the base, but they just can't use it. Now further Panzer Grenadiers are moving in to try and force the point here, but a heavy machine gun is setting up at a rear position, and riflemen are slowly pulling back, and Panzer Grenadiers are caught right into the line of fire off the 30 caliber, quickly suppressing all of these Panzer Grenadiers, killing one rather quickly. Now riflemen are moving forwards again with all of these Panzer Grenadiers suppressed or pinned, making them much easier targets, and of course less likely to actually fire back. And now the riflemen are continuing to keep these suppressed. The heavily wounded team is once more going for this victory point. Jeep joining into the fight as well, hunting down these Panzer Grenadiers who might want to consider getting out of there. And we see the usual Panzer Jäger command, so we'll probably be seeing the usual armored car rush from them, but of course Panzer Elite armored cars aren't too tough, and if for example caught by these heavy machine gun, it might easily end up a very bloated wreck. Riflemen and engineers continuing in numbers to move in, nothing else. A bit of manpower, a bit of fuel, and a bit of munitions, quite a bit of munitions actually. And so far no mines, but there we go. Mine going down, certainly not bad. Kettenkrad and Panzer Grenadiers moving towards the edge of this ridge, but quickly being stopped. Kettenkrad is coming under fire. Heavy machine gun maneuvering in to quickly suppress these Panzer Grenadiers. And there we go. Setting up, and with the next patch they will have a faster setup time. And now Panzer Grenadiers suffering heavy losses, charging right into the heavy machine gun and then quickly retreating, leaving the Kettenkrad behind. It will find itself under heavy fire. 30 caliber the first one, and the Kettenkrad has to get out of there before it is wrecked, thus leaving the victory point in the hands of the Americans once more. Panzer Grenadiers making a quick charge, and we are seeing assault rifles going out. And I do believe we also have the first armored car, yes indeed. So the question is how he will deal with this, and of course I'll be aware that now he has a armored car on the way, since he does have the assault rifle, and you usually see armored cars then. Armored car charging in. Will it try to swing in left and attack the flank, thus hitting a mine? And we are seeing further mines being laid down in all the possible roads. No, the armored car is taking a slight watch position. No, it's going to charge in and hit the mine, damaging the engine and taking quite a heavy lot of damage. Panzer is pulling back in face of the 30 caliber heavy machine gun. Armored car slowly getting out of there, and now riflemen are setting in after it, charging across the open terrain. Perhaps not the best idea, but at the same time, if they can get enough shots fired off at the armored car, they can knock it out, rendering very quickly a huge loss to the Panzer Elite, since it won't have done much. And I might just pull it off, while in the south we are seeing a second rifleman team. Panzer Grenadiers charging right into the building. Jeep setting in to deliver the final blow to the beast, and gaining veterancy 1 in the process, making it faster. Now things are certainly looking a bit off for the Panzer Elite. They don't really have much territory. In fact, I hold most of it, and the armored car, which he probably had hoped to really deliver some blows to me and cause some confusion in the lines, has quickly been rendered a wreck, and certainly won't be helping him, while I've in fact still retained most of my forces, and I'm in fact myself getting a motor pool and most likely my own armored cars, which will certainly put him under even further pressure. We see Panzer Grenadiers hiding with their assault rifles in this building, ready to stop any attempt at moving through here and taking this point. But a simple mortar could, for example, fix that, or of course more concerted effort and all-out assault from all sides. Further mines being laid down.
Our supply lines are being threatened.
It looks like there might be an all-out assault, in fact. And we see a grenade going out right through the window, killing 2 Panzer Grenadiers. Certainly not good for them.
Our forces are taking casualties.
And this is going to force them to retreat, leaving the other team right behind. Grenade going in. But the Panzer Grenadiers have long since gone, and now the riflemen are quick to occupy the building, leaving these Panzer Grenadiers in a rather nasty situation, and only a heavy machine gun team ready to hold the entire western half of the map. And realizing that something is afoot, I'm pulling back this heavy machine gun team to a slightly more defensive position, and also much slightly more rear one, where there's a larger charge. It might not get so easily outflanked, and at least have a chance to spot something. Keep setting up to do that spotting, in fact. Riflemen now moving in though, and we see another Panzer Grenadier team having set up right in this building, and he's gone straight for the Panzer Support Command, getting a light anti-tank half-tank. Certainly can be effective with focused fire, but it's certainly rather quick in jumping from one building to the other. So that's certainly a lot of resources just spent there on buildings in rather short succession, leaving him without much actual units or vehicles. And Staghound is on the field, going to make things much easier for the American infantry. A slight retreat right here as the light anti-tank half-track continues to blast away, and Panzer Grenadiers are moving in to support. Still nothing else, and in fact he has 3 buildings already and not really used them for much. No larger teams. And now we might see another light anti-tank half-track who might be trying research for the Panzer IV. Let's have a look. No, he stopped the research and instead getting the Panzerjäger command upgrade, which will probably mean martyrs in an attempt to do something with that. 30 caliber catching these Panzer Grenadiers right out in the open, killing 1. Flamethrower scorching away the Panzer Grenadiers, and the T-17